I'm having quite a bit of fun talking about the NFL draft. It used to be my least favorite time of the year because that was our Super Bowl. That's all we had to look forward to. But since the arrival of Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell and Chris Spielman, this thing is fun, and it gets more and more fun and intriguing each year. The more we win, man, the better and more entertaining this thing is going to be. With that being said, you see a guy on the thumbnail who, I'm not making this stuff up, had a local visit. And we are very familiar with this individual. Coming from Dave Burkett, says, didn't mention Michigan running back Blake Corum among the Lions local participants the other day, but he was on the schedule for a separate local visit a couple of weeks ago. Still think it makes too much sense for Harbaugh to take him in the mid rounds. Lions local day running backs. Michigan's Blake Corum says visit only. Now, the Lions, as we discussed in a different video, have 7 draft picks. Brad Holmes, in my opinion, has something brewing in that first round. We talked about a trade up. I think it might be a trade back, but one thing we can say for sure is we do not know, right? So, Blake Corum, let's entertain the thought of Blake Corum being a Detroit Lion. Dude is a dog. He's a dog. Now I know what you're saying, Derek. We got David Montgomery, and you'd be right. David Montgomery is in year 2 of a 3-year deal, or a 3. He's in year 2 of a 3-year deal. If you got a Blake Corum in the mid rounds, not only would you have Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, you would have Blake Corum, who would instantly, in my opinion, be number 3. And then you would have his darker skinned twin, in my opinion, Craig Reynolds. Not the running ability, but if you look at the two, man, it kind of, I don't know, it might just be me that they resemble each other just a little bit. But could you imagine? Now, I thought last year that with the drafting of Jahmyr Gibbs, this is before DeAndre Swift was traded on day 3, whatever day that was, that DeAndre Swift got traded, that we would have had the best running back room in the NFL. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, DeAndre Swift at the time. Could you imagine, be careful now, could you imagine Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Blake Corum, right? David, year 2, Blake Corum, rookie. I'm just saying. We could have one of the best running back room in the National Football League at that point. And does it make much sense? I tell you what, it doesn't make no sense, because look at last year. Monty went out for 3 or 4 games. Jahmyr went out for 3 or 4 games. In that time, Craig Reynolds had to step up. Could you imagine Blake Corum coming in there, stepping up? First of all, Amazing Blue, Honolulu Blue. Come on, man. It's written. It's written. And the Detroit Lions have the perfect draft. They are in the perfect draft position to draft Blake Corum if Brad Holmes wanted to go that way. As stated earlier, the Detroit Lions have 7 draft picks right here. Wouldn't that be something? If we were able to use TJ Hawkinson's pick to go get a guy like Blake Corum. Now, we do still need a safety. We do still could use a cornerback, and Mikey Sanders-Steele will still probably be sitting here around this time. I wouldn't be opposed or wouldn't put it past Brad to use some of these picks to trade up and get a guy. So we stay here, we grab our guy. We stay here, we grab our guy. Right here, we take another Michigan man, Blake Corum. Now, as we go with the NFL draft and the Detroit Lions get better, when teams get better, they need less and less capital in a specific draft. So we talked about last year at the trade deadline. Are the Detroit Lions ready? Were they ready at that time to trade away their first round picks? So under Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell's regime, 2 out of their 3 years, they've had 2 first round picks. 1 in 2021, 2 in 2022, and 3. Now they're back down to 1. Maybe Jared Goff can fetch him another one. I'm just playing. It's just a joke, all right? You know Goff's my guy. But I'm just interesting to see what he would go for. But are the Detroit Lions, were they in a position then? A lot of you said no at the trade deadline. But the draft stock, the team is built. We're building the team. There's only a couple more pieces that we need. So if we wind up with, and again, I know this is a sore subject for you guys, but we traded away draft capital to get Broderick Martin, right? We did. It's the truth. Y'all just mad at me because I speak the truth. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. I had to delete the sound bite, but don't worry, I'm going to get it back. So let's say, but just think about that. And the thing, what I love about this is it's not outlandish to think that this could happen. So let's say we get our guys by pick. We have no 4th round pick yet again. I don't think we've had one since year 1. Let's say we get our guys. We get whoever, I don't know, edge rusher, cornerback, 29. Edge rusher, cornerback, wide receiver. We still need a wide receiver as well, but we got a lot of time. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I think each year under Brad and Dan, I'm getting more and more excited. I was not bothered at all by last year's draft, except for one guy, and I've said his name quite enough. You might know who that is, but leave your thoughts in the comments below. Blake Corum stays at home, pairs back up with Hutch. Man, what a reunion that would be. I do believe that a Michigan Wolverine is going to be on the Detroit Lions roster come training camp. That's just my honest belief. I don't know who, but I do believe it's either going to be, it could be Corum, it could be the white Roman Wilson, it could be Mikey. I don't know. We'll see. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. There's a defensive tackle too. I forgot his name. I think he wore 94. Dude is he was big and quick. I think he's coming out this year, but big and quick, man. Let me know if you know. I forgot his name. White, something like that, on the Michigan Wolverines. I was watching him last year like, this guy is everywhere, but we got enough of those guys. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you guys again. Consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Ringing that notification bell for more content just like this. Trying to bring you the #1 fan-driven Detroit Lions content creator out there. All right. And when I say #1, I'm not talking about me and what I believe. I'm saying what the numbers say, right? #1, man, all because of y'all. Y'all have made me the #1 YouTube channel. I know some of y'all like, we need to unsubscribe. Don't do that because I want to stay #1. But it's all because of you, and it speaks to the integrity of the viewer, man. I appreciate you. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. Let me know if you notice anything about me outside of the mustache. Not this, but something else. Let me know in the comments below.